What's up, guys? It's your host here, Spartanic Arts DxD, back with another high school DxD related video. Today we have What If Issei Went Rogue Part 4. If at all possible, we should totally hit the like button right now because I know you're in the premiere. I am recording this actually literally December 31st. So I wasn't gonna make a video, but then I just sat down and I was like, you know what? Let's make a video. Why not? So without further ado, if you want to become a balance breaker or a limit breaker, that is the first link down in the description below, as well as in the premiere right now. And just click the little blue button right next to the subscribe button. And without further ado, let's go ahead and thank my second channels. Okay, so Popowski is currently at 44,000 subscribers, and Fallen DxD is at 1,700. So I can't thank you enough. And so is Spartanic's at 31,700. They are 31,000. I'm pretty sure it's 700. Yeah, thank you so much for all the support. Just realistically, like, seriously, I just go hit up the second channels as well if you want to sub. But actually, without any other further ado, let's go ahead and thank my balance breakers: Rob the King, Lachlan Yates, Jordan Patchow, Ant Lewis, Night Ammo, Refeek135, Asamoda, Slow, The Black Dragon Emperor, Keep Saying 21, Louis Bermudez, $5 Sake, VR with hashtag Dude347, Night Ammo, Zeki 2000, Seth Voiles, The PS_gamer, XOR X108, Sinrar Q, Legendary Say 98, Mazaku, Dr_MLG_ is the bomb, Grimfire Shot Gamer, That Round Guy, Zero Fusion, Sora Spawner, Chaotic Raven, The J-Boys, and Ruga, the newest balance breaker. Thank you so much for becoming a balance breaker. And without any further intrusion, let's go ahead and get into part 4. Chapter 11. Issei came to realize his feelings kind of amplified when he's looking at the two women before him. It's like he's looking at his own kin. Even though he knew they are not his kin, he couldn't just help it when seeing their pride, passion, determination that they possess for their beliefs, which just like him when he's defending those when he once hold dear. It's like they hold a certain charisma that attracts him. He assumes it must have something to do with their skill trait because he feels a certain attraction towards them. Even now he can feel their charisma attracting a dragonkin such as himself. No wonder there's so many rivers. And a dragon outside, but they never attacked this place. The castle is the only intact building he saw during his observation when he's free-falling from the sky. He could tell if another dragon other than him came into contact with their charm, then the dragon would instantly submit to them. But because he's a special case, which means he's not dragon from birth, he won't submit right away, and only feels a certain attraction towards them. And the fact that he is the will of the dragon of domination, which doesn't allow him to submit, also holds a certain credibility which assists him in resisting their charm. And even without the oath, he will never break the promises he made. Even when he's still human, he always fulfills his promise no matter what. But he can feel something odd. With the Black Jeanne, if they're supposed to be the same, their power shouldn't be differs that much. But what he has seen so far from her powers are way beyond the White Jeanne. It's like an adult fighting children. He stopped his train of thoughts when the White Jeanne speaks. I hereby declare the mountains may rise and fall, and the sun may wither away, and the sea may claim the land and swallow the sky, but you will always be my lord, and the stars might fall from the heavens, and night cloak the earth, but until darkness dies, it will always be yours, long you don't abandon me. I, Jeanne, swore the oath to you, Issei Hyodo, my new master. Let it be known that if I break this oath of mine, then my soul shall perish for eternity. She speaks with fervent gaze, while still kneeling. Then her oath manifests itself like a chain, heading towards Issei and bind her own soul with him. Issei then widened his eyes in shock. He never thought she was going to bind her soul to him. And while Issei is still in shock, he heard the Black Jeanne clicking her mouth and says, if you ever betray your oath, then knows that I will destroy your soul without hesitation and watch it burn. I'm dead fucking serious. Then she also got onto one knee and swore an oath to him. I hereby declare, become part of me as I become part of you. And ever after I promise myself to thee, each day we share, I shall be honest, good, and true. If this you seek, heed my call. From this moment on, there is no other one for me but you. If there any other who dare to hurt you, I shall see them staked afore me, and shall leave their bodies in ruin. Jeanne Jalter swore this oath to you, Issei Hyodo, my new master. Let it be known that if I break this oath of mine, then my soul shall perish for eternity. Then something happens to her soul, just like Jeanne. It binds her soul with Issei's. Issei's brain went haywire because he can't process what just happened. When he's still out of it, Black Jeanne screams at him, "Hey, are you listening?" Issei snapped out of this confusion and asked him loudly, "What? Why the hell did you two swear an oath to me? Are you out of your mind?" He couldn't help but become flabbergasted because they took him by surprise. He never thought they would swear an oath to bind their souls to him. I know I also swore an oath to you too, but that's because I know I won't betray my oath, Issei says. And you think we'll betray our oath? Don't you think you're the only one who can do that? The black one says. She screams back at him. She's pissed that he thought they will betray their oath to him like they are not trustworthy or something. White Jeanne only keep the same posture from before without saying anything, but the look in her eyes says it all. Her unwavering faith, love, and passion for him will never wane away for eternity. Issei says. He don't know what to say back because he's still having insecurity thoughts about his past, but then he realized what they did are just basically saying they will never betray him either. And once his thoughts are broken, when Black Jeanne got up and grabbed him by his collar with both of her hands, then she screamed once again and put him at his point-blank range. Don't you dare compare us to the ones you betrayed you before, or I shall take you down with me to hell, even if it's going to cost my soul. Then I shall watch you burn in a stake along with me, the black one says. Then she did something that once more blew Issei's mind. She kissed his lips while grabbing him by his collar. Whoop. He widened his eyes from the shock. White Jeanne also became shocked from what she saw. Her mouth is wide open from the shock. Black Jeanne continues kissing Issei, but because this is her first kiss, it's kind of clumsy. Then she ended the kiss, but still glowing red face. Now, do you believe me? She screams out of embarrassment. While Issei was going to say something, he feels someone pulling him from behind and forced him to rotate his face, which awaits him as another surprise. Yeah, you guessed it right. This time it's White Jeanne who kissed his lips and also her first kiss. After a while, she stopped the kiss. Do forgive my rudeness, master, but I don't want to lose against my little sister, Jeanne says. Who's your little sister? The black one says. Black Jeanne cut in right after Jeanne finished talking. But I am the first one who swore an oath against our masters, so that makes me your elder sister, right? She says that while tilting her head and making a cute smile against the Black Jeanne. Right? Your head? I don't accept this. I want to redo. Hey, stupid master, hurry and restart our oath, the black one says. She proceeded to grab Issei once more by their collar and swing him back and forth. Issei's finally snapped. Cut it out, you idiot! Both Jeanne are surprised from his sudden outburst. Issei took a deep breath and kneed his head before because the amount of stress he got was overwhelming. First they swore an oath without his acknowledgement, then second they kiss him by surprise. Now they are swinging him around like he's some kind of toy. He's a proud dragon, for God's sake. Didn't I tell both of you have your own freedom? So why in God's name did you bind your soul to me? Issei said. He says that with a sigh. Both Jeanne look at each other with what she says. But we did just as you said. Jeanne said, you said we have the right to choose our own path. Then our choice is to serve you as our new lord. What an idiot. It's not like we have any place to go after this, so we might as well follow you. Don't worry, I will cancel my assault against this country. It will be more interesting to see them fall on their own. And don't you think it's going to be more satisfying to watch them keep worshipping a corpse for their entire life? Jeanne responded to their own with a worried smile, but she knows deep inside her little sister doesn't hate the country that much anymore. After all, this is where they were born. Even if Lord is no more, they have found their new Lord to serve. Fine, sue yourself, but tell me if you want to cancel your oath in case you change your mind, Issei says. We won't change our mind. Huh, you can't running from me, both Jeanne said. And call me Jalter. I don't want to be called the same name as this idiot. Besides, the oath clearly states for eternity, so we can't cancel even if we wanted to. Oh, don't be shy, little, says Jeanne. So she suddenly hugs Jalter and rubs her face against her. Knock it off, you idiot. Get the hell away from me. Jalter becomes more ashamed as she tried to push Jeanne off of her, but she doesn't really like it to be her little sister. To be honest, she's kind of happy because finally someone accepted her, but she's too shy to admit it. Issei stares blankly at both of them, but then remembered about the thing which summoned him here. So he asked both, did any of you summon me? Issei says. Jeanne and Black Jeanne become confused by what he meant, but then they realize that he's not human, because they could clearly feel his aura when he spoke his oath, which clearly belongs to a dragon. Now that you mention it, I think Jalter knows something about it. Because I'm not the one who summons all the worms outside, and we aren't supposed to be able to summon them in the first place, Jeanne says. Yeah, I'm the one who summoned them, but I got a little help from this thing. I proceeded to bring out a black holy grail that alarmed Jeanne. It is indeed this is what enables me to summon wearing dragons outside, and I don't remember how I got this thing in the first place, because then I suddenly got here along with this in my hand. What? Issei says. It's the total opposite of, if it can grant a wish without a side effect, then it comes with a side effect, Jeanne says. And I'm guessing Black Jeanne wished for the destruction of this country, and it grants her wish by summoning a bunch of worms and dragons. And the side effect of it shall be, it won't just be this country alone that will be destroyed, but also the whole world if it's not stopped, Issei says. Wow. Exactly, Jeanne says. And if I can't cancel it if I want to, once it's granted, then it won't stop until it's fulfilled, Jalter says. The atmosphere becomes tense for them. Let me see it, Issei says. You can't, master, it's too dangerous, Jeanne says. She's right, I won't let you touch this. But Issei just ignores their words, took from Jalter's hands without even realizing it. By the time she realizes it's not in her hands anymore, Issei stared directly into it. Be careful! They screamed at the same time, fearing something will happen against their new lord/master, but nothing happened when they both became confused. It emits a bright dark light and blinded them for some time. And when they opened their eyes once more, Issei are now nowhere to be seen, and they are floating on the air while emitting a black aura. And that is the end of chapter 11. Chapter 12. When Issei opens his eyes, all he can see is darkness, but there's a single throne adorned with a human skull, and the color of a throne is pitch black. And he can see a girl sat upon the throne who's looking straight at him, and she has a wicked smile on her beautiful face. She has like a doll-like face, considered to be too beautiful and too well crafted. Yellow pupils, just like Jalter, the same pale white skin, and a long tail with white hair. She wears what appears to be a black priestess garb and red outlines along with a pitch black crown adorned atop her head. She started laughing like a maniac. Issei just looks calmly at her. He knows the woman in front of him is the Black Grail itself, just from the dark aura she emit alone, which is the same as the Holy Black Grail. After a while, she finally stopped laughing. Are you done? Issei says. Indeed, I am done. I can feel that you have the same darkness inside you that matches my own, so if I absorb you with me, then I shall become complete. Now become one with me, dragon. She talked with the same wicked smile on her face. I refuse, Issei says. That's not for you to decide. Then, out of nowhere, there's a black tentacle emerging from all around her. They headed straight towards Issei. They constrict all of his body, from his neck, his arms, his legs, even his body. Now come here! But Issei doesn't even move a single inch. You could tell the black tentacles are struggling to pull him, but to no avail. How? BG says. She's confused why, though she used all of her power to pull him towards her, he doesn't even budge. And he still has the same calm look before the tentacle wrap around him, which are non-existent. Then Issei admits his own aura and tentacles are shredded to mites, just his aura alone. What? BG says. She becomes more amazed by the sheer power she felt just from his aura alone. But she becomes more ecstatic because if she can absorb him, then she will truly become complete and even stronger than ever. Then she summoned thousands of humanoid-looking dark substances to attack him. Great! Now let's see if you can handle this. Then the army she summoned launched their attack at him. After a while, the girl's face loses her smile as the scowl on her face appears. What? Why won't you go down? She's mad at the man before her that won't go down like she wishes to. Issei's still at the same spot when he arrived here, but the army she summoned are all over the place. They gathered around him. All he did is launch a normal attack whenever the thing comes close to him, and they destroyed like a clay figurine whenever they received his attack. At one point, she started summoning a shadow, like being as part of form of Jeanne and the other strong-looking humanoid. But they all are destroyed just from his normal punch or kick. And then they tried ranged attack, but also to no avail. He slapped away every projectile that comes his way, but even if it hits some target, forget about injuring him, they can't even put a scratch on his outfit. He still has a calm look after all. The battle he had just done, he doesn't even break a single sweat after all that. Are you done? Issei says. He asks once more, but this time his red eyes are shining a little bit. BG flinched when she met the stare from his eyes. This is the first time she feels intimidated ever since she came into existence. She can see everything she sees as a toy and loves to mess with around their so-called wish. Her wish is to destroy the world, but sadly her power is not capable of doing that. But then she sensed the power of the first rift became ecstatic. If she could absorb that power, then her wish would finally be fulfilled. And when she saw it firsthand, she becomes more assured that this man in front of her is the key to her wish. At last, she underestimated the man, and she took him down to no matter what she did. Just when she became even desperate, she remembered she still hasn't tried that thing. I'll admit you're strong, but this will be the end. Then she summoned a black mist surrounded Issei with it. No matter how strong you are on the outside, deep inside, you must have certain negative emotions, and it shall be your downfall. Then she got up from the throne and headed towards him. When Issei got surrounded by the black mist, he feels his surrounding change. He's back to the time where he found out the girl is cheating on him. He saw when Rias and Akano kissing that man. He saw when the rest of the girls are acting intimate with their new boyfriends. And here he is watching it all over again. After that, he saw them throwing insults and hitting them down over and over again while their new prospective boyfriend's just laughing in the background. They are not the same girls he once come to love. The look in their eyes, the pure contempt they had on their face when looking at him. Issei doesn't realize he has tears streaming down his face at this moment. He's just calmly looking at his memories replaying back. The happy memories and the sad memories. And then he has come to a point where he almost died just from sheer despair. He felt that during the moment. How he just wanted to die, just so that he won't feel the pain from getting betrayed by the ones he loved. If not for Dreg, then he must have died a long time ago. And after what it feels like an eternity, he finally saw his memories he had, the new woman he found, the time he spent. Semiramis, Hishisho, Jeanne, Jalter. Deep inside, he still doesn't trust anyone. He still thought of all of them the same as Rias and the rest. And what more, he feels afraid if this stuff once happened again. But then, he saw from all of his new memories that he has been wrong for thinking every woman he met is the same as his old lover. The care they gave him, the joy they shared, the warmth, the trust they gave him by telling him about themselves, how Semiramis got betrayed, how she felt about him, and how Shiyosho, who thought strict with him, but was still never losing love and caring she gave him. How she tell her secret, why she's looking for a perfect candidate to be her student. And even the two women who swore their soul to him without hesitation. They are usually silly, but that's their beliefs for him. He knows they truly love him deep inside, but he's too afraid to move forward, to accept their feelings and feel of the betrayal happening once more. But now he realized how wrong he was. Then he finally found the courage he needs to move towards their better future. And unknown to him, his souls, which constantly contradicting other, had started to become one. They are balanced just like yin and yang. He has another breakthrough. He breaks through the shackles which binds him to go to the next step. What is meant to truly become the true dragon of domination. He shall dominate everything. Dominance, control, these things just unseek most of all. And so it's the duty of just to defy dominance and challenge control. He shall have dominance and control over everything, even his feelings. To know sorrow is not terrifying. What is terrifying is to know that you can't go back to happiness you could have. Fear is not evil. It tells you what weakness is. And once you know your weaknesses, you can become stronger. Outside Issei's mind, BG came close to Issei's body. He has his eyes like that he's fast asleep. At last, finally, my wish shall come true. Now you'll become part of me. When she extended her hands toward Issei, he suddenly opened his eyes and grabbed her hands. She became shocked. Thank you for making me realize something. Then he threw her away. She crashed against the throne, covered a bit of blood because of the impact. Then she saw Issei floating with his dragon wings spread behind him. He closed his eyes and put on one of his chest, then started chanting, I who shall awaken am the red dragon of domination who control the principle of domination. With infinite hopes and dreams, I shall become the protectors of my loved ones. I am their light in the darkness. I shall promise you a future that shines brighter than any light. Ally to good, nightmare to evil. I shall become the true Dragon King of domination. Dragon Overdrive. The whole darkness around him was blown away. A majestic red dragon stands before her. His mere presence brings shivers to her core. She could feel tiny, insignificant before him. She had the urge to just submit to him. Issei gave a loud roar after his transformation, and every word in the black dragon outside the black grail are shivering down towards his direction, like they are welcoming the true Dragon King awakening. Jeanne and Jalter, who are still panicking when their new master disappeared, they noticed an anomaly as they saw the black rail are shivering fiercely like it's threatening to break at any moment. They also heard the roar, which contained so much power. After a moment, Issei stopped his roar and set his gaze upon BG once more. She felt her heart stop beating when those gaze lands upon her. Then she heard his calm voice inside of her mind. Summon back all the worms and dragon you summoned, Issei said. BG can only comply because she knows there's nothing she can do to the dragon before her. Outside, all the worms are dragon disappear into a particle of light while they're still in the previous position, and the humans give a loud cheer when they saw the worms disappear. What now? Will you kill me? A fitting end for a being such as myself, and I consider it as an honor to be killed by you, true Dragon King. Issei didn't answer her question right away. He just kept staring at her. Just when BJ started feeling irritated at him once more, I won't kill you. I don't see the point to kill you at this point. Even if I do kill you now, you will just be reborn once again in the future, because you're made from all the humans' negative emotions. As long as there's humans exist, and you will keep coming back, isn't that right, Black Grail? Besides, you are a necessary existence anyway, Issei says. BG is at a loss for words when he said all of that. It's true that she will keep coming back as long as humans existed, but it's the first that someone said that she needed. What do you mean, I'm a necessary existence? Don't you know what I've done so far? How many lies I've taken? She couldn't help but scream at him. You are a reminder to humans to remind them to stand together in peril. You are what the humans needed. A saintess might be good for them, but in the end, it won't stop them from the inevitable war. War is omnipresence, ever since the olden times. Then, rather than having humans kill each other, it's better to let them fight a common enemy. And that's where you come in. A necessary evil, you might say, Issei says, and it's not your fault for being born. It is their sin, not yours. In the end, they reap what they sow. In some way, you are the product they created. BG once more is at a loss for words because of what he said. Issei then transformed back to his human form. What was that? You will not regret killing me now, BG says. She looks down while saying that. Perhaps, but that's just what life is. Nothing is true, everything is permitted. The world isn't perfect, but it's there for us, doing the best it can. That's what makes it so damn beautiful, Issei says. He says it with a smile on his face, and Biju, who saw that, become a little absent-minded because she just scoffed his words and not denying it. Go away, idiot. Then she created a rift below his feet, and he's gone. Thank you, she mutters at the end. And that is the end of Chapter 12. Chapter 13. Outside the Black Rail. What the hell just happened? Why did the Black Rail suddenly stop moving? Jalter said. I don't know, but that roar must belong to our master, Jeanne said. Even I knew that, but what's happening inside? The warriors and the dragon outside are already disappeared. Why our master isn't coming out yet? They are both wondering and feeling frustrated at their mastered form, and nowhere to be found. Even the warriors and the dragons disappeared. Then suddenly the Black Rail disappeared into thin air. What? Come on, it suddenly disappeared! Jalter became even more frustrated while Jeanne don't know what's happening anymore. Well, they just are at a loss for what they do. There's a rift appeared behind them, become alerted, and get into the battle stance. He sure finished it quickly, just like our expectation. Of course. Who do you think he is? He's my beloved apprentice. They both heard a voice coming from inside the rift when they saw two beautiful women appear from within this rift. One has brown hair while the other has purple-colored hair. Yes, the woman who just appeared are Semiramis and Scathach. After both of them came out the rift, they saw Jeanne and Jalter. Are they our new sisters? Scathach said. Indeed they are. You can see their souls are bound to Issei's, right? Indeed. I have to say, they sure are pretty. Our Issei sure does know how to choose girls, Scathach says. Well, they're having their own conversation. Both Jeanne and Jalter are tense because they could tell the newcomers are very powerful. But then they heard them talking about Issei and they become surprised. Wait, who are you two? How do you know about our master? Oh, you call him your master, eh? So that means I'm your grandmaster because Issei is my beloved apprentice. And as for me, you could say I'm also his mentor and teaching him as a certain magic, I suppose. How do we know you're not lying? Oh dear, why would we want to lie to you in the first place? We are clearly stronger than both of you, so if we really want to harm you, don't you think we do this a roundabout way, don't you think? Semiramis says. She all smiles when she says this. Both Jeanne and Jalter felt chills when they saw her smile, but they admit she doesn't really have any reason to lie to the both of them. You can rest assured, since both of you decided to bind your soul to our dear Issei, then we will become sisters in the future. I know that you'll understand what I meant, don't you? Both Jeanne and Jalter's face went red because they do understand the hidden meaning behind their words. Jeanne looked down because she's embarrassed, while Jalter just turned her face red with a Ha! A cute bunch, ain't ya? Well, welcome to the family. Jeanne just responded with a quiet, while she's still looking down, and Jalter's just turning her face red and her ears become red after hearing Scathach. Well then, we need to have a talk, girls. Now, back to Issei. Issei once more, back inside the dimensional rift. He wonders what would happen to both Jeanne and Jalter, but there's nothing he can do because he still cannot make it through the dimensional rift on his own. So he decided, when he went back to Semiramis' place, he will ask her to bring Jeanne and Jalter to him. Unknown to him, he went back, he will see them already there. So, after waiting a while, he sees an opening inside the rift and he went through it. He stands before a forest and he started looking around. I wonder if this world is where Semiramis wants me to go. When still inspecting his surroundings, he heard a noise come from the bushes. Then he saw a bunch of goblins came out. Goblins? Well, Semiramis did say the world would have monsters roaming around it, Issei says. The goblins started screaming, "Kee! Kee!" At that, they just rushed towards Issei. Looks like they want to attack Issei, but by the looks of it, not that Issei even care if he stand all day long of them attacking him, he won't even get a scratch. So Issei calmly kicks a bunch of stones under him, and the stones went straight to the goblins, like a bullet, and make their bodies full of holes. He sure as hell doesn't want a goblin blood on him, because it surely shrieks, just like body odor alone he could tell. After killing them, he all started walking. After a while, he comes to the forest and sees a village nearby, so he heads towards it. When he arrived at the village, for some reason the villagers kept looking at him, especially the girls. They have red faces, and they were drooling a bit when they were looking at him. Well, the man glaring at him like they stole his wife from them, but there's some man who somehow also have red faces when looking at him, and that gives him goosebumps all over. He knows his new look is a bit handsome, but he doesn't think it will affect them this much. When he tried to ignore their gazes, finally the girls went up to him and said, and towards him and did a Gaimnaka reverse pickup. Excuse me, do you have time to spare? If you do, can we have some tea over there, please? The village girl 1 says. Ignore her and just go with me, the village girl 2 says. Please, like you're worthy enough of him. I shall become the one he has tea with, the village girl 3 says. Village girl 4, hey handsome, just ignore this little bunch of girls and let's go somewhere nice, shall we? I can give you a really good time, you know. Village girl 5, don't you have some shade, you old hag? Go away and piss off. You shall go with me. Some come with handsome guy and let us serve the Axis cult together. Little girl, Oni-chan, please say this. You, our woman, are such a slut. He must be only interested with someone like me, who has muscles and beauty. Now, handsome, you can have my virginity. You prefer a receiving end? I don't mind both ways. Issei got surrounded instantly, and he got chills hearing the last statement as he runs as fast as he can from them. Run away, run after him, all the mobs say. After running for a while, Issei finally lost them. Damn, is this how Kiba felt? Those women are crazy, and that last statement gave me chills. And now, what the hell is this Axis called? Is this religion in this world? Unknown to him, even Kiba won't attract that much attention, since there's a bunch of handsome men in this world. That just says how out of the world his handsomeness are. But he won't realize that for a while. It will be too late when he's already got a bunch of wives before realizing it. I guess I just hide my face for now. At this rate, I'm not going to achieve anything, especially relaxing. How can I relax when a bunch of mobs keep chasing me around, Issei says. Then he circled around the village once more to avoid being noticed right away. Finally, he arrived at the place that looks like an information center. After he asked a bunch of questions, he finally knows where the nearest city are. And he knows that there are jobs called adventurers. So he decided to become one of him so that the easiest job he can get from the fastest way to get money. He can just get money by killing some weak monsters, and there won't be an easier job than that before him. If any adventurer hear his thoughts, they might just spit blood because of anger. For him, it's an easy job, but for the normal humans, it's a dangerous job that can get him killed just from one small mistake. And from info he's gathered, the strongest in the world are goddess in the demon lore. Not that he cares, since he knows they won't be a threat for him. So he hitched a ride with some caravan at the most he will cost as their bodyguard in case they attack monsters or bandits. All he has to do is punch a giant rock and turn it into smithereens. The owner gave him a thumbs up. After a few days, he finally reached the city he's looking for, and along the way there's a bunch of monsters and bandits trying to attack the caravan, but he only needed to throw some stones as they are all dead. When he enters the town, he saw the stone brick buildings and houses as they part the pathway. It is a simple to ancient European town of the Middle Ages. Horse-drawn vehicles after one another that can be found on the road. The children are running around and chasing at each other while the others just have a smile on their face. All along the way, he can see a weapon shop and the armor shop, item shop, and so on. There's also a stall on the roadside that sells fruits, vegetables, foods, and all kinds of snacks in the city, and quite prosperous. And you can see some of the civilians bring a weapon with them on their hips, etc. But there are not many panic or worry feelings for each other's civilians when they have weapons with them, like they are used to seeing it. This scene really gave the ambience of a different world feelings to it. It is indeed beautiful. So this is the city called Axel. Axel is located in the Bielsa Kingdom border regions. And this city will also have another nickname, which is Beginner Village. As the name suggests, this is where the newly emerged beginner adventurer stays. There isn't really a strong monster around the city, and there is where Issei is planning to stay because he doesn't want to go to the capital, because for him, he always wants to relax, this is the best place. Well then, shall we, Issei says, and that is the end of Chapter 13. Chapter 14. At Azazel's house, What kind of father am I? I can't even realize that my son needed help so badly. Azazel can be found sitting on his chair, sighing because he can't help his figurative son Issei, and the worst of all, he can't do anything to the ones who hurt him so. He still considers them all to be children, and all children often make some mistakes, but this mistakes they did are way beyond the line. If it's any other girl, he will just kill them right away, but he also thinks of the girls as his future daughters-in-law, so come love them as his own daughters. And on top is off. Some of the girls is big backgrounds such as Rias and Akano. Both their parents and brother are the leader of a devil faction and the higher-ups of the fallen angels respectively. During the meeting, they also discuss how the Triaxa could be sealed so easily. They were prepared for the worst, like sacrificing their lives just to seal it, but somehow the beast got sealed just when they are about to do that. Like it's what they were gonna do. I just hope this is just our feelings. I'm too old for this shit. Just where are you now? Issei, Azazel says. Kyoto, transfer. I can't wait to meet Issei now. I hope Shirone doesn't took a head start against me because I want to be the first who will bear his kittens, Kuroka said. Kuroka can be found rolling around her bed thinking about the boy she's come to love. She's hugging a pillow that has Issei's face on it. Kuroka, we need your help over here, Yakuza says. Yakuza's voice can be heard outside her room. Okay, we'll see you soon, Issei-san, Kuroka says. She gave the pillow a quick peck and went outside her room to help Yakuza. She's doing her best to change herself just so they could be with Issei. She's become one more of an ambassador of the yokai faction now. Unknown to her, her Shirone already went beyond her expectations. Not the good kind of expectation, but the worst one. Issei's room, transferring now. Or scene change, Issei's room. Rosvisa can be seen found at Issei's bed curled up herself while holding his clothes and pictures. Her eyes are red because she has been crying all this in Simon's room. She can't believe just when she's about to confess to him he disappeared. And it's not like he can blame him for that. The other girls cheated on him for God's sake. It's normal for them to be afraid, but to do this just because of it? Sorry, but that just went way over the line. Which idiot would cheat on their lover just because they become afraid? The fact that girls rarely have conflict against the opposite gender might be the reason why they did all this, but it still doesn't mean they can just cheat on him like that. And they even have a gal to bring their new boyfriends to his house. Oh, she's holding herself back to prevent from killing them. Rias and the others might not realize this, but the eyes they see are so lustful and filled with greed. It must be the only moment she knows of the glaze as well, because during her life she often saw that gaze all the time whenever someone tries to flirt with her. That's also one of the reasons why she's still single after all this time, because all the men she has met so far only want to get inside of her pants because of her position as Odin's secretary. But only Issei never look at her that way. Sure, he might leer on her, but there's no twisted greed inside his eyes. And which boy isn't lustful at all his age? It wouldn't be even weirder if they don't feel that way. Well, Kiba is kind of weird himself because she can see him become interested in the opposite gender, but that might just be her mistake. When she found out about what they did to Issei, she became disgusted. Even now, she still can't believe what they did to the boy who sacrifices everything on the line just for them. But she won't say anything to them, even their new boyfriend's true nature. She will just let them find out on their own about if it's not going to hurt them. For what Issei has experienced is far worse than they are going to feel, and she swore on Odin's name that when time will come, she will go to his side straight away. She will kill anyone who gets in her way. Issei, where are you? Rosvisa says, and Rosvisa fell asleep while still holding his clothes. One of the reasons the new guys have some argument with the ORC girls before is because they won't have sex with them, even though they spent the night together. But they hold it in because they thought the time would come. But it never came, so that they started to ignore the girls and went to spend their time with some other friends. Somewhere unknown, Volley and his team could be found training. Volley is wondering where his rival is. Went after all this time, while Byoko just monkeying around like always. Arthur also wondering a bit about Issei, but that's because his little sister Lafayette likes him. Wonder where he is now, Volley says. The energy we felt last time are surely Drake's aura. He's gonna activate Juggernaut Drive, but it disappeared soon after, so we can't be sure, Albion says. Either way, I believe we will meet again at the world-class raining game, and that's when we're gonna find out the truth from him, Volley says. I agree. Finally we'll fight Drag once more. Don't you dare lose, Volley. Of course, Volley says. Well, both of them are going to be mind-blown for sure when they do meet Issei again, especially Albion, since he will meet his long-late crush once more, while Volley became more embarrassed when he found out the true reason why they had the rivalry in the first place, but he is more surprised from the power Issei possesses at that time. Now, Scene change, we're at heaven. Gabriel and Michael are sitting across from each other. They both have downcast feeling after finding the truth about Issei's disappearance. Michael is wondering if he should make Irina a fallen angel. After all, she just cheated on her boyfriend. While Gabriel is feeling sad for the boy she took a liking for, she never felt this way against the opposite gender before. She wished she could go to his place and comfort him right at this moment. When she sees Issei for the first time during his Opie Dragon show, she became anxious of how he is surrounded by the children. She loves seeing children adore him, in his pure smiling face and his honest personality. And when, knowing what he did for those loved ones, he became even more interested with him, and finally she took a liking for the boy called Issei Hyodo, for his perseverance even when all hope is lost. I wonder if I should punish Irina for this. It's totally fine to be afraid to do things, but this, of all things, Michael said. Let her be, Oni-sama. It's not totally her fault anyway, Gabriel said. Gabriel, being kind-hearted girl she is, rejected her big brother's proposition. I know, but still. Fine, I will let Issei-kun decide her punishment later on. Unbeknownst to Irina, her angelhood almost got forsaken if not for Gabriel's prevention. She almost became the thing she detested the most, the fallen one. She's fine with the other fallen angels, but she can't take it if she's one who become fallen herself. Now in Surma's domain, Semiramis is looking around for information in Issei's world. Then she found out about a Zazel Cup, so she decided to let Issei participate in the world-class rating game because she believed he needs to do this to fully forget his past. Even Scathach approved of their suggestion. Even though he never told me about his past fully, but I'm sure the one who betrayed him will be attending this event, and when the time comes, he will let them all know how wrong their choices are, Semiramis says. I can't wait to see him beat everyone there. Devils, fallen angels, gods alike. None shall stand before him, Scathach said. Indeed, but this triaxia beast seems weird. It's supposed to be a strong creature, but how come it got sealed just like that? Well, either way, it's none of our business. We will only assist our beloved Issei in his actions, Scathach said. I believe if that the triad whatever beast comes out, he can easily defeat it. Don't you girls think so? She proceeded asking the girls behind him. If he got beaten by some beast, he won't be called my master, Jalter said. I believe our master shall prevail of all other obstacles before him, Jeanne said. And for those bitches who betrayed him, I will see them burn the stake when the time comes, Jalter said. She says that with utter hatred and malice, aura surrounding her. Jeanne only chose to be silent because she also feels the resentment against those who betrayed her master. She is devout believer after all. The others also feel the same way. Scathach started swinging her spear around like she's starting to stab something, while Semiramis just giving a chilling smile while looking at Issei's world. Her yellow eyes are glowing in darkness like a viper stalking its prey. Somewhere in the house, a woman's body could be found in a giant tube. She has a beautiful face, long red hair, and her body is voluptuous, like she's on her prime. At the middle between her chests there's a white mark that can be seen with the heart of a dragon wings covering it. That's the mark when a dragon has already decided its mate. If, by chance, he/she betrayed their mate, then the mark will went gray, and went the same mark will took their very own life as it possesses it. The woman's body is almost completed. It just needs a little bit more time, and this body belongs to Old Drag, White Gooch. But her real name is Irina Belsarin, while Irina Hyodo Belsarin now because she has chosen her mate already. And her white mark will only become completed if truly become one with her chooses mate, has sex with him. After all, after that, this mark will become completed. It will turn red, and both of them will truly become one in every sense. Extra boosted power, etc. And she won't have to return to the boosted gear for Issei to be able to use her boost ability. Now, back with Issei. After his arrival, Issei headed straight to the Adventurers Guild to register himself. After all, he has no money with them when he arrived here. It must be the Semiramis' mistake on her part because she got no sense of currency. And she never needs money in the first place because she got everything she needed anyway. Not like he's going to blame her because she doesn't really care either way. He's already grateful enough for what she's done for him so far. When Issei arrived at the guild, he sees a crowded place. A bunch of men drinking liquor, some having a hand bra, some are fighting in the front of what seems like a request bra. There's a bunch of waiter and waitresses that have the same uniform taking orders on their respective customers. There's a bunch of trophy from monsters adorned on the walls, such as Wearing Head and some giant fang and tusk, etc. There's a neat, tidy counter on the side. It seems it's for the registration and request-related stuff. When Issei arrives, some of them are looking at him because his clothes seems very stylish, and although they can't see his face, they know he's a guy just from his body shape alone. But they thought he's only to post some requests, so they ignore him right after. And when Issei arrived at the counter, he got greeted by a pretty woman that looks very young, and well-endowed woman with fair skin, wavy blonde hair tied behind a bun, and gold-colored eyes. Her outfit consists of a ribbon worn around her neck, a white shoulder low cup that reveals a large amount of cleavage with black shoulders and sleeves cuts, low jean shorts. Hello, I am the Adventurer Girl staff member Luna. How can I be of service? Listen to the question of the woman. Issei went straight to the point. I want to register as an adventurer. His words brought some attention from the man and the woman around him, but Luna isn't feeling surprised or anything. Understood. Please pay 1,000 Rias bound as handling charge, Luna says. Rias is the currency of this world. What a pity Issei doesn't have any money with him, but thankfully he gets some from the caravan leader because he protected them, and some of his mastery kills have decent materials. So caravan leader gives some money for it because when he asked if he would gather their materials, he said no need. Because of that, the caravan leader gave him some money for it because it went against his concise just to take materials like that, and he doesn't want to get on the bad side of someone who is strong as Issei. He got 100,000 Rias from all that, so Issei calmly took 1,000 Rias from his money bag and gave it to her. Thank you for your patronage, Luna said. Then she calmly took the money and took a card from below the counter. This is an adventurer card. In this world, all living beings have souls inside of them, any existence so long as it has a soul, which means a living being. You can absorb this existence part of the soul memory. Change into growth, and nourishment turn into what's so-called experience points. People, after accumulating a certain amount of experience points, obtains corresponding growth that's so-called level up, plays. The function of the adventurer card can display the amount of service points the adventurer absorbs, and also display the ability parameter, rank, even its skills list, and though operating adventurer card, you can also on the class transition and learn new skills. Regarding the adventurer, this is an essential thing, rather it can obtain power which most average person cannot hope to achieve. This adventurer card is necessary existence, it is unable to lack. Then Luna put the adventurer card on the counter. She also took some of the crystal ball with a funnel, and she put on top of the adventurer card. Okay, please put out your hand on top of the crystal ball. Issei proceeded to put his hand on the crystal ball after the crystal ball gave a dazzling ray of bright light. A ray gathered all the crystal ball, then it shot a laser at the adventurer card below it. Then Issei's stats appeared on the card, and her scream gathered more attention from their surrounding. They were confused why she would scream like that, but when she's usually pretty calm. And that is the end of chapter 14. And that is where we're going to stop now. Get cliffhangered so hard, no regrets, get slammed, no diff. I apologize. Don't worry. I'm sorry. I'm a little tired from reading today. So I stopped right there. I read about another 4 chapters. So thank you guys so much for the support, man. Seriously, the merch will come out hopefully soon. I just got to think of a design of it and then slap it on a shirt and put it on there. We'll do hoodies. We'll do hoodies, t-shirts, maybe tank tops. That'd be kind of sick. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. So I just wanted to thank you guys for all the support, man. Seriously, it's been absolutely amazing so far. I was going to stream today, but I'm not going to. Well, I might. It really depends how late I'm up. Well, I'm not usually late. I'm not usually up late at all these days. I usually go to sleep around 11, but I'm a loser, FYI. I got to work out, you know what I'm saying? But, so, yeah, thank you guys so much for the support, man. Please leave a like. I know you're still in the premiere, so go ahead and hit that like button. And yeah, seriously, thank you once again to all my balance breakers. I really do appreciate balance breakers and my limit breakers and my ultra instinct members. You guys are all some huge homies. And go subscribe to my second channel, and Popowski, and Fallen DXD down in the description below, as well as it will be on, I'll give the little links and things like that. They're in the description below either way. So thank you so much for the support, guys. Without further ado, Spartanic Arts DXD out.